And we are live. It's been a crazy day. It's one of those days where you wake up and by noon you know it's going to be a busy day as far as following like true crime. I had just put out something because I thought we were going to get a lull in Gannon's case because of this virus stuff. There's so many things happening in the world. I actually figured we're going to get a lull in the case. So I've been putting together some timeline stuff and some just trying to figure out, one, how could Letecia do this by herself? Or two, if there were people involved to help her. Yeah, I still got information coming in. So I'm trying to put together a timeline of what happened. This is what I can tell you. Law enforcement believe they have the person who is responsible for this in custody. They do not believe anyone else is in danger. That's what they've said to the public. If they believe that someone else was involved, two, they would either have them in custody or we would have information on a second arrest. So I'm going to go at this with the notion that I've already made. I've already talked to you. I had people call me who told me law enforcement was looking at her from day one. So she reports to law enforcement on the 27th at 4 o'clock ish. He went missing. At 6:30, there was people out looking. On the 31st, she does an interview with Spencer. January 31st, she does an interview. We know she did this interview because we've all watched this interview. I just spoke with stepmother of missing 11-year-old boy. He says we've got the full interview here. This interview is dated, let's see. I just want to see if they actually tell the date. He said it in a tweet. And I think this shows that it was the 31st.
You don't have to change your view.
So I just want to put this timeline together for you. If they're following her from day one, on January 31st, this is 1, 2, 3. Let's see. So he went missing on 27th, 28th, 29th, 30, 31. It's 4 days later she does this interview. But they're concerned about her in Florida on the 2nd through the 5th. She's here on the 31st for the interview, and then she goes away. She disappears. And the next time we see Letecia is she's been arrested in South Carolina. If she left on the 31st that evening, or she left on the 1st, she could very easily be in this area where they found Gannon today on the 2nd, third through February. So it's a 31-hour drive if you go this way, if this is the way she went to Pace, but then was on her way to Myrtle Beach or around Myrtle Beach. It's not very much longer than taking the route northern this way to Myrtle Beach, especially if you're wanting to, if you have an idea of somewhere. If you've made this drive before and you thought in your head, where can I get rid of this? Where can I get rid of Gannon? Not around here. Now, they took her car. She went and rented a car real quickly after. They seized her car. They seized the house. They started investigating this thing as a crime, we believe, pretty quickly after this thing happened. They may have been saying missing, endangered. That is true. They did search parties, all this stuff. Meanwhile, this lady does an interview on the 31st. Police put her somewhere around Pace the 3rd through the 5th, and then she's in Myrtle Beach. She's back in South Carolina. On February 16th-ish, let's look this up real quick so I get this right. Let's look this up. On February 15th, February 16th, she's seen in pictures down at the raceway in Florida through, I believe, Harley's Instagram or Harley's Facebook. Again, sometime around the February, she's down here. We know that she applied for some Frontier Airline stewardess in Florida and in Denver. All of a sudden, Gannon is found in North Florida today. Police are asking for information based on what they believe is Letecia took Gannon to Pace, dumped Gannon, and went on to Myrtle Beach. The time frame works because she disappears off social media after this interview. She makes some statements, but she took off. The question is, between the 27th and the 31st evening, 1st of February, where was Gannon? If she dumped Gannon somewhere between the 2nd, 3rd, or 5th, between that time frame, that's what they're asking for. Where was Gannon in those missing days when she's doing an interview? Where was this suitcase? I believe that the sources that I'm talking to are not lying, and that law enforcement is looking at this as Letecia did this by herself. At this time, we don't know what tipped them off to arrest her. We do know that there were some tips that were brought in to arrest her. They've said that. They have given us info on this tip that this was, and we have seen it in real time play out because of social media. We've seen when they found Gannon. We've seen what law enforcement looked like there. The people that were driving by didn't know what was happening. The news would report a body was found. All this stuff happened. Real time. I read an email to you today about a early morning email I got from law enforcement. I got another email today, this evening, from the woman that was on that call with Letecia. They wanted to speak with her too. That same time. So there's this weird stuff happening. That happened on the 17th. They found him on the 17th. On the 18th, they contact law enforcement. Law enforcement's still following up tips. They're still calling me. They're still emailing me. They're looking at this thing from start to finish, and they got a big piece of the puzzle today that literally opened up a plethora more of charges. People keep asking, why the charges? Why the charges? Because they are going to stack her with 300 plus years. They're going to get her for life in prison without a chance of parole for the murder. Then they're going to stack 50, stack 50, stack 50 down the road. She's going down for Gannon's murder. I don't believe anyone else is involved. And I think that we're going to see cell phone towers. I think we're going to see a ton, to quote Michael Allen, the DA, a ton of video. And now that they found Gannon, I think we're going to see even more video. This is going to be put off again. So they said we're going to court on the 14th. They may or may not. They're going to give this evidence to the public defender, and the public defender is going to look at it and be like, oh, shit. The only person who can ask for a continuance is the public defender, Letecia. She's the only one that can ask. We are looking at a status hearing on the 14th. It doesn't look like there's going to be any public being able to go. Chances of me getting media credentials before then, slim to none. I'm trying, but it probably ain't going to happen. Hopefully they allow some sort of media coverage because they've already told the media no cameras for the status hearing. They may close it all together because of this virus. They may postpone that status hearing because of this new information. These new charges. She has to formally be charged more now. So she hasn't pled. She hasn't pleaded. She gave that interview to Spencer. Gannon was in a suitcase somewhere. She skipped town, grabbed that suitcase. You understand what's happening. See, they're gonna be video of that suitcase. They're gonna see that suitcase. That's going to be Gannon. It's Kelsey Barrett. It was a trunk. Gannon's case, it's going to be a suitcase. The difference is they found Gannon, and Gannon's going to tell a story. He's going to tell the story. A lot happened today. But I think after today and after the information that I think I've gotten that's pretty accurate is that no one else is in custody. They continue to look at Letecia as the sole criminal in this case. They've stacked her with 13 charges. 13. That's double what they gave Patrick Frazee. Do they have a witness? I believe without a doubt somebody has talked to them because of the way they're approaching this case. I think we are going to get it postponed. I think it's going to postpone out past this April 14th date. Look, the world, just look at the world, okay? If they still hold court, and I know that they're saying because she's in custody, but what happens? The DA gets sick. The judge is going to come in and get sick. They're not going to put the judge, the DA, these people at risk over this murder. They'll let her rot in jail for a couple extra days before they'll do that. Oh, let me make sure I'm not missing something. I wanted to talk to you guys. On March 2nd, Landon cried out to the world through a sheriff's press conference. She cried out to the world for Gannon. We all saw it. Meanwhile, Teabag is on her way to Florida. I don't know what our world's coming to. I said to someone, I thought it was the virus that's crazy. When I read stuff like this, I'm like, why can't this virus target psychopaths? Why can't this virus target people? Why can't y'all create something that targets someone like Letecia? I'm out. It's been a long freaking day. It's been a long day. I just don't want to miss this. That's funny. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching Dad with a Phone. We'll talk to you guys later. But
hit that like and subscribe button.
oh, I just sneezed on you. Social distancing. What did you just say?
Hit that like and subscribe button.
We're out.